In the very near future, our planet will be inhabited by close to 10 billion people. So we are looking at a landscape filled with millions of new buildings and massive renovations of the existing ones. And during this transition period, it's crucial to consider our environmental footprint, because almost 40% of the global CO2 emissions come from the building sector. However, a very small amount of the total investment in new and existing building projects is dedicated to energy efficiency. And this trend raises serious concerns, as it could lead to excessive carbon emissions for years to come, making global warming even worse. So with the urgency of tackling the climate crisis, it's not just about building more, but building smarter and more sustainably. And the concept of net zero buildings could be one of the solutions to making more sustainable buildings. My name is Anton Dobrevsky, and I've taught hundreds of professionals how to design energy efficient and comfortable buildings. And in this video, we're going to explore what net zero buildings are and whether they're really as good as they seem to be. So, what exactly are net zero buildings? These are buildings designed to generate as much energy as they consume over a course of a year, aiming to have a net zero annual energy consumption and also, therefore, a lower carbon footprint. They achieve this by utilizing green technologies such as solar panels, wind turbines, and geothermal systems. At their core, they're designed to minimize the overall energy usage and thereby reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. And this reduction in our dependency is significant because it leads to decreased greenhouse gas emissions, and in this way, they contribute to fighting climate change. But the benefits don't stop at the environmental impact though. There's also a solid economic argument for net zero buildings. Yeah, they might require a larger initial investment compared to traditional buildings due to the advanced technologies and designs, etc. However, once operational, these buildings are capable of paying back that investment through drastic cuts in the energy bills. And since they're designed to generate their own energy, the reliance on external energy sources is significantly reduced, leading to considerably lower utility costs. And this means that over the building's lifetime, you could see substantial savings. And while offering a path towards sustainable living, net zero buildings aren't ideal and have aspects that should be further looked into. These complications are often overlooked and therefore serve as a reminder that when it comes to sustainability, the situation is much more complex. And understanding this allows us to be more informed and strategic in our approach towards sustainable design. A key concern lies in the actual sustainability of the materials and systems used in net zero buildings. For instance, the manufacturing process of photovoltaic panels, which are the cornerstone of the building's energy production, requires a significant amount of energy. Additionally, the environmental cost of producing batteries for energy storage and their subsequent recyclability poses another set of challenges. And high-tech insulation materials, while efficient, may also have a substantial carbon footprint. Another thing to consider are the time profiles, or in other words, net zero is not really zero. Let me explain. The time profiles of energy demand and production of a net zero building are not always aligned across the seasons. For example, solar energy production is at its peak during the summer months when the sunlight is abundant. However, energy consumption tends to be highest in winter, particularly in colder climates due to the increased need for heating. And this mismatch between the energy production and consumption can lead to reliance on the grid or energy storage systems, which come with their own sets of challenges and environmental impacts. Last but not least, net zero buildings come with a high initial price tag, primarily due to the sophisticated technology and high quality materials required. Furthermore, the cost can be very high when attempting to retrofit an existing building to meet the net zero standards. A more economically feasible approach might be to first optimize a building's energy efficiency by improving the insulation, harnessing natural light, and implementing passive design strategies. And once the energy demand is minimized, the remaining energy could be met with on-site renewable energy generation. So this approach not only spreads the cost, but also ensures the most efficient use of resources. And that's exactly what the Passive House standard does. It focuses on minimizing the energy consumption of the building by creating a healthier and more comfortable living environment. And Passive House buildings use up to 90% less energy compared to standard buildings. So recognizing the complexities of the net zero concept helps us understand that while net zero buildings offer a promising step towards sustainable construction, they're not a silver bullet. It's important to critically examine these issues and seek innovative solutions to ensure that we are genuinely moving towards a more sustainable future. For instance, by first focusing on optimizing the energy efficiency of the building by following the passive house design principles, we can minimize the energy demand, and because the building will need much less energy, it will be less dependent on the time profiles and the electricity from the grid. And this approach will also help minimize the initial investment for the project. And looking forward, the ideal scenario is not just a world filled with net zero buildings, but a world where our built environment is thoroughly designed and built with sustainability in mind. Starting with energy efficiency, generating energy on site, and combining this with design principles that minimize the carbon footprint of the entire life cycle of a building, from construction to demolition, and of course, considering the building's interaction with the local ecosystems. So net zero buildings have a crucial role to play in this vision. They're a promising step towards a more sustainable future, but they're just one part of a broader, more holistic approach. As we move forward, it's essential that we don't see them as the single solution, but as one tool among many in our fight against climate change. And in our pursuit of a greener planet, let's remember to always question, learn, and continuously seek better solutions. And as you saw, energy efficiency plays a crucial role in this vision for a greener, more sustainable future. So if you want to learn more about energy efficient buildings, make sure to check out this video. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and see ya next time.